guys, it's Justine here from I Should Read That, and I am doing another reading vlog. This is very exciting because I haven't done two reading vlogs back to back in a really long time. I'm so bad at actually remembering to sit down and film, and usually when I do remember it's 10 o'clock at night, which it is right now, so I am just not great at this. So I'm really proud of myself for getting this going 2 weeks in a row. But as you may have seen in my last reading vlog, I finished Foundry Side, which is good. I've actually got a draft review done, and I am now actually able to continue on with Kingdom of the Blazing Phoenix, which I'm really excited to read. I was on page 28 yesterday when I finished, and now I'm on page 106. So obviously this is going by really quickly. It's only 350 pages, so it's not a hugely long book, and it's going really fast. I'm really liking it. I loved Forest of a Thousand Lanterns, which I'd get for you if I had a third arm. It's sitting right on the shelf there. I loved that book last year. It was so good. It's just so nice to see a truly evil woman who you really love and root for anyway. I feel like we could get into spoiler territory here, even though I feel like, just judging by the name of the series, we kind of know what's going to happen in the first book. But this is a sort of, it can kind of act as a standalone, but I really think it's basically a almost direct sequel. It takes place 15 years after the first book, and this is about Jade, who is the stepdaughter of Shifeng. And I am really liking it so far. I was worried that we would go from this amazing, evil, horrible, villainous character that I love so much to a kind of Girl Scout type character who's just good and pure and wonderful and everything, but that's not the case at all, and I am loving it as a result. I think that Jade is a really great character. It's almost like she just didn't have a break in between writing these two books, because it just feels like I've never left this world, if that makes sense. She's done a really good job of just making a very seamless sequel. So this is going really well. I should have this done soon because it's going really fast. I am also working on Nevernight, the audiobook, which I'm very much enjoying. I actually just got a new pair of wireless headphones, which will let me sort of potter around the house listening to Nevernight a little bit better. I also went ahead and got the God's Grave audiobook as well, and I think that the audiobooks are the perfect way for me to consume these books, because as I said last time, his writing style is really complemented by a narrator, and the narrator is excellent, and I checked, and the narrator does God's Grave as well. So I'm gonna probably finish that hopefully this week. I'm about 8 some odd hours into the 20-hour audiobook, and then I'm going to start God's Grave, and then I actually have another Audible credit, and I don't know what I'm going to get. So if you have any suggestions for audiobooks that are really well done like this, I would love to hear them. Finally, I'm also reading The Blue Salt Road, so this is a novella. I started this on Sunday, yesterday, kind of as I was closing up the last reading vlog, and I'm only about 40 pages in. I'm going to sort of devour a little bit more before bed, but this goes really fast because it is short. It is a physically small book, and it's also illustrated, so this is going to be a nice one for me to kind of, you know, consume very quickly. I don't know if you can hear Dex squeaking in the hallway. This should be an easy one for me to kind of consume very quickly, and I think it comes out in November of this year, but I want to read it early anyway. It's only August right now. So I am such a mood reader, and I said last time that I was probably going to pick up maybe Girls of Paper and Fire next, but instead I think I'm going to do Gilded Cage by Vic James, because I can't hold on to this, because I had a spare copy of this book and I gave it to my friend Jenny, who is wonderful and delightful and one of my best bookish pals, and she read this and consumed it over the weekend, and I came into work today and she was like, "Hi, can we talk about this as soon as you finish it?" So I am really looking forward to reading this. I've heard such amazing things about this series, and I have books 2 and 3, which are currently with Jenny right now, and I am very excited to finally read this, because this copy is actually signed. I met Vic James at Yalk, and it's one of those awkward situations where you really like an author but you've never read their books before, and so you're just kind of standing there please sign my book. I don't really have anything else to say. That's it for today. It's almost bedtime, and tomorrow should be another fine day. Honestly, there's just not a lot going on right now. Hey guys, happy Wednesday. So apparently I just have this thing where I completely forget to film on Tuesdays. I don't know what it is, but I've done that the past couple of weeks, and I have been having this problem when I've been trying to do reading vlogs in the past. I just will do Monday and then completely forget everything else that I'm supposed to do on Tuesday. So that's fun. But today's Wednesday. It's been an interesting day. I have just been really busy, been really tired, but I've had a really good evening after work, and I have some bookish things to show you. The first things first is reading progress. So I am 222 pages into Kingdom of the Blazing Phoenix. It's a nice easy number to remember. And so that means I'm about 130 pages from the end. I don't think I'm going to finish it tonight because it is 9:30 at the moment, but hopefully I'll be able to finish this tomorrow. That would be really nice. It's been going really quickly, and the story's kind of changed a little bit. I feel like the first almost half of the book is very different from what the last half is going to be, but I'm really enjoying both parts, so I'm very happy with that. Should hopefully be finishing soon. I've also been working through The Blue Salt Road by Joanne Harris. I am on page 84 of like 200, so I'm getting very close to halfway here, and I'm loving this so far. It is creepy, and it is dark, and I love that so much, but oh man, some of it is like, when you kind of think about the implications of things that are happening in this book, it's like, ooh, whoa. And then I forgot to check how far I am into my Nevernight audiobook, but I think I've just passed the 13-hour mark, and it's a 20-hour audiobook. So I'm getting very close to the end. I have ramped it up to double speed. Oh, yeah, hi. Look who's come to join me. Hi! Oh no, okay. This is fine. This is fine. I'm gonna try to talk over her. This is gonna be really fun to have to watch back. Hi, kitten. So I am 13 hours into Nevernight. I'm loving it. I'm loving it so much. So much, in fact, that I actually have already purchased the audiobook for God's Grave as well, which is the second book in this series. Say hi, Dax. Hello. So this is weird and wonderful. So I'm loving that so far. I really enjoy the story, and I'm really loving her time in the church. It is, I heard someone describe this book somewhat like this, so I can't take credit for this, but it's like, I don't know, it's like Hogwarts got dragged into a back alley, had the shit kicked out of it, was gotten drunk, and then, you know, had lots of sex with everyone. It's really fun. I'm really enjoying it. And what I love is that it's a book about a girl who's an assassin who actually assassinates people and is good at assassinating people and doesn't have this kind of remorse that comes with it. I love that she is just kind of, you know, stone cold killer type. I think it's really great because I feel like you just don't see that very often. We're told so often that these girls are deadly, that they're so good at this and what they do, and then we don't really see that evidence at all. So this is like the complete opposite of that, and I'm loving it so much. And the narrator is amazing. He's really amazing. So I forgot to mention on Monday, I've got a huge pile of books here. I forgot to mention on Monday that my pre-order for City of Lies by Sam Hawke came in. I am like so excited to get this. I had heard of this. I heard like sort of word going around a little bit, but some of my blogger friends that I have a chat with, some of the fantasy friends that I have who are much better versed in adult fantasy and current adult fantasy than me, were raving about this. So I ended up looking it up, I pre-ordered it, and I've like read the first half a page and I almost like tumbled headfirst into this book. It's amazingly well written. It has such an intriguing first page. I think I'm gonna love this so much, and I'd like to read this soon. So this is available now. My pre-order showed up I think the day or the day after it came out, so you can get this now if you're interested. So next up, I accidentally bought a book today. I didn't mean to. So what I wanted to do is, Waterstones has changed over their rewards program to this Waterstones Plus thing, which if you're in the UK, you've probably heard about at this point. And so I went in to get all of my stamps put over onto my phone app. If you have 10 stamps, then you get £10 off of a book. She's still here. So I went in to get The Vagrant by Peter Newman because my book club is going to be reading this for, I think, October or maybe September. I think it's October, though. This is so distracting. And I went in to get it, and in the sort of confusion of getting all of my stuff transferred over and some questions that I had and whatnot, this didn't end up coming off of the, rewards program. So I still have 14 stamps, but I intended to get this for free and I did not. But that just means that I have another set of stamps that I can use for another day, so I might save that up for a rainy day. I don't know much about this, but I've heard it's fantastic. I know that it was a sort of huge debut when it came out. I think it's a debut. And I know that he is married to Emma Newman, who's one of my favorite authors. If you have seen me rave about Planetfall, she's the author of that, so that's reason enough for me to want to at least try his books. So last but not least, I did also have some book posts today. So I got this in the mail today, which is very, very intriguing. This is The Silent Patient. Ow! Oh my god, she's leaving. Oh my god. Ow! Fuck, that hurt really badly. Oh, she's so cute, but she brings me so much pain. So, anyway, I think I'm bleeding. Ow. This is The Silent Patient, and this comes out in February of 2019. This is by Alex Michaelides, and this is from Orion. This is a book that they seem to be really throwing a lot behind. I'm very, very interested in this. So I have been kind of in this mood for thrillers, and I feel like I have been disappointed lately by thrillers. I read The Woman in the Window. I did that on audiobook, which proved that audiobooks and thrillers are not a good combination for me, which I explain in a reading wrap-up. I can link that below if you're really interested. But this sounds like it's going to be really, really promising. This sounds like it's going to be really cool. So, I have the press release here. This book is about a woman named Alicia, and she has, like, the perfect life. She lives in a beautiful house in the most desirable area of London. She's a famous painter. Her husband Gabriel is an in-demand fashion photographer. So her life is perfect until one evening he comes home late from a fashion shoot and she shoots him 5 times and never speaks a word about it. So Theo Faber is a forensic psychotherapist, and he is, like, consumed by this case. He's obsessed with this case, which happened 5 years ago, and he's desperate to find out why, what happened here. So it says here, The Silent Patient is a heart-stopping debut thriller about a woman's brutal and random act of violence against her husband, and the man obsessed with finding out why. So I am very, very interested in this. This is the actual cover here. So what I have here is the proof cover. That postcard is the real cover. I am so interested in this. I'm really excited about this because for me, as much as I love sci-fi, I love fantasy, I love all of that, the perfect thriller is one of the best reading experiences you can possibly have, in my opinion. So I remember reading Gone Girl way, way, way back. It was popular, but it wasn't quite to the point that it's become a phenomenon at this point. I read it back before the film came out and everything, I think before it was announced or whatever, and I knew nothing about it. Nothing about it was spoiled for me. I didn't know anything. We owned a copy of it. There were 300 holds for it at the New York Public Library at the time, so I just borrowed my family copy, and when you get to the point, I won't say what it is, but you get to the point where sort of everything is revealed about midway through the book, I was so overcome. I couldn't believe it, and I just devoured that book. I have never felt anything quite like that since reading Gone Girl. I really liked Girl on the Train. I was not a huge fan of The Woman in the Window, so I'm hoping that perhaps The Silent Patient can be the book that sort of brings back that love of thrillers, because I love a good thriller. So now that I'm surrounded by books and no longer surrounded by kittens, although I need to check my legs for wounds, I am going to hop in the tub, get some more reading done. I don't think I'm going to finish Kingdom of the Blazing Phoenix tonight, although it would be really nice if I did, but I'm going to give myself as much of a head start as possible so I can finish it tomorrow. Hey guys, happy Monday! So, okay. A couple funny things. First of all, I didn't clearly have any time to film over the weekend. I currently have day off because it's a bank holiday, which means it's a national holiday here in the UK. I will go ahead and explain where I've been in a second, but also I've already filmed this, and I'm currently editing this reading vlog, and I realized that I filmed this completely upside down. which was a nice surprise. So I have to read you this, so apologies if if it feels like I'm rushing through it or anything. It's just because I've already done this before, because that's just how life works sometimes. So my last entry was on Wednesday, where I was like, I haven't finished any books yet. I'm hoping to finish them soon. And today is Monday. So on Thursday I was ill. On Friday I was traveling with Scottish fiancé to my parents' place out in the countryside. We had a very lovely weekend and we came back late last night on Sunday. And I was lying in bed like, I could film an update, but I'm not going to. I'm gonna fall asleep instead. So I am here on Monday, a little bit late. This will be going up soon. So that's what my life has been like lately. At least it's been fun. So I have actually managed to finish 3 books this week, and none of these will be a surprise. So first of all, I finished Kingdom of the Blazing Phoenix by Julie C. Dow. I gave this 4.5 out of 5 stars. I really liked this book. It's interesting because the reason that it's not 5 stars and the reason that Forest of a Thousand Lanterns isn't 5 stars is I had like a couple of very small nitpicky things, and they were completely different for both books. So Forest of a Thousand Lanterns, I really didn't like the romance, mostly because I just didn't think that Shifeng would ever like give that guy the time of day. And in this one, I really actually quite like the romance. It's very sweet, but I feel like there was maybe a little bit more that could have been done, and so I ended up giving it 4.5 out of 5 stars, but I really love this. If you liked Forest of a Thousand Lanterns, you will really enjoy this. I know that it says that this can be read as a standalone, but I would not recommend that because you really don't get the villain if you don't read Forest of a Thousand Lanterns, which is her book, and she's amazing, and you get to see kind of the choices that she makes, and you get to see her path to becoming sort of this empress, and sort of every decision that she makes in this book makes a lot of sense. So I'm going to do a full review of this closer to the publication date, which I think is October in the US, and it's November 1st in the UK. So sometime in October I will go ahead and post a review of this. But again, if you enjoyed the first book, you're going to really like this one, I think. Next, I did also finish The Blue Salt Road by Joanne Harris. I gave this 4 out of 5 stars. I really enjoyed this, but like with all novellas, I think with a few exceptions, I just wish there was more. I really wish that there was more here. And I love the illustrations, I love the kind of storytelling, and I love the fact that this is very much a fairy tale in the sort of traditional sense, and that it's dark and it's creepy and it's somewhat horrifying, which I really like. I much prefer that kind of style to the sort of Disney-fied style of fairy tales, even though I do enjoy Disney. So I gave this 4 out of 5 stars. I would very much recommend this. If you read Pocketful of Crows, it's sort of inspired by the same ballads, but they are complete standalone books, but they're still kind of connected in that way. Finally, many of you will be pleased to know that I finished Nevernight by Jay Kristoff. I ended up loving this book so much. I had an absolute blast reading this, and I did the audiobook for this, and I think that that is perfect. As I think I say earlier, I've been editing this, I should know if I said this earlier, but I think as I said earlier, it's really complemented by having a narrator because the story is told as though someone is actually narrating it. I love his writing style. It's so fun, and I love just how refreshing it feels to have, first of all, a girl who actually kills people when she's supposed to kill people instead of not doing any of that. I feel like so many books have lied to me about having murderous assassin-y characters who don't actually kill anyone. I loved sort of the blood and the gore and the swearing and all of that goes into this. I think it's so much fun. This is one that I think people could maybe believe is young adult, and it's not. It's one of those that has a young adult age character, but is really, I think, much more adult content. That's not saying that young adult readers can't read this, obviously, but if you're expecting something maybe a little bit lighter, that is not this. In terms of books that I am actually reading right now, I am almost done actually with Gilded Cage by Vic James. I think I'm 50 pages from the end. This has been a really interesting read for me. If you don't know what Gilded Cage is about, think sort of modern Britain, but an alternative world. So basically the aristocracy has magic. They call it the skill. So the aristocracy, very small sort of group of people, they all have the skill, and the common people have to in order to keep the peace, the common people have to serve as slaves to the aristocracy in some capacity for 10 years. It's called their slave days. So this book is about a family that all do their slave days together. So most of the family is sent off to Kindstown. I think it's Kindstown. I'm reading this right now. I should know what the actual name of the estate is, but they're sent to the sort of estate of the most powerful, skilled family. They're called the equals. The whole aristocracy are called equals. So they are sent to the sort of big estate. They think they're all going to be together, but the son, named Luke, who's 16, is sent to like a factory town. Horrible place. And they're split up, and it's all about sort of them working through sort of the early part of their slave days, but also we get the point of view of the equals, of the aristocracy. And I was not feeling this book initially. It took about half of this book for me to really kind of get into it, which, as I mentioned earlier, my friend Jenny just finished this and she says the same thing. For me, it felt like we've seen this all before, and I wasn't really interested. This is terrible. I wasn't really interested in the family. I couldn't really care less about them, especially because they feel like stock characters to me. You have the 18-year-old girl who has like her insta-love forbidden romance. You have the boy who has to kind of learn how to be a man and all of this. I wasn't interested in them. I really like the aristocracy, but now things are starting to get going. We're starting to get the plot going because there's a lot of groundwork that has to be laid, and now I'm really enjoying this much more. So I'm very curious. I think that this is going to be one of those ones where the first book is maybe sort of the one that has to lay all that groundwork, and then it gets kind of explosive from there, which I know of several series which do the exact same thing, and I ended up loving. So we'll see how that goes. So I also got another pre-order come in. This is my last pre-order for August. This is Mirage, and this is by Somia Duad. So this is very interesting to me because not only is, like, look at this is so beautiful. You know I'm a cover magpie. This is a Moroccan-inspired sci-fi and fantasy book. So I initially thought that it was only fantasy, but apparently this has a lot of really strong sci-fi elements too. I love books that sort of fuzz that genre barrier, and I think that this is going to be a really great read. It's not particularly long. I'd like to read this really soon. I think it came out earlier this week. I'm not 100% sure of the date, but this sounds great. I've not heard a lot about it. I've seen a lot of people be excited about it because of that representation that's there. I have read one review from my friend Judith who really liked it, and we tend to have similar tastes in books, so I am very interested in reading this and reading this soon. So that is it for this reading vlog. Hopefully next week I will be able to actually like film through the entire week and not skip a bunch of days, but we'll see how that goes. So keep an eye out for more reading vlogs coming your way soon. I'm really enjoying doing these. I'm having a really fun time talking about books as I'm reading them. I'm also going to be doing my August wrap up here soon, so if you want me to talk about these books a little bit more in depth, that's where you're going to find those explanations. So definitely stay tuned, and I will see you next time.